What if the one drink you enjoy every single morning is secretly working against your blood sugar without you knowing? Most people over 60 have no idea that the timing of their morning coffee can spike glucose dangerously high. Your doctor probably never told you this, but coffee and cortisol together create a hidden blood sugar crisis every morning. This is not about giving up coffee forever. It's about one small change that transforms everything completely. Every single morning, millions of seniors unknowingly trigger a blood sugar spike before they even take their first bite of food. The science behind this is shocking, and once you understand it, you will never drink coffee the same way again. Coffee contains two powerful compounds called chlorogenic acid and trigonelline that act like traffic controllers inside your digestive system naturally. When timed correctly, these two compounds slow down sugar absorption and protect your pancreas from unnecessary and dangerous overload every day. But here's the part nobody talks about. The wrong timing completely destroys all of these incredible natural benefits instantly. Think of your pancreas as a small factory that works tirelessly to produce insulin and manage sugar in your bloodstream. When you wake up, your body already releases cortisol naturally, which signals your liver to push glucose directly into your blood. Now, add a strong black coffee on an empty stomach, and that cortisol effect gets amplified by 20 to 40 points. Your blood sugar has already risen significantly, and you haven't even eaten a single bite of breakfast yet today. This is happening to millions of seniors every single morning, and it is silently making blood sugar control much harder. I have watched this pattern quietly destroy the health of patients who were doing almost everything else correctly every day. Let me tell you about a man I will call Thomas, a 72-year-old retired engineer who loved coffee deeply. Thomas walked 3 times a week, avoided sweets, and genuinely believed he was managing his health as well as anyone could. But his fasting glucose stayed stubbornly at 138, and his long-term blood sugar marker stayed dangerously high. When I asked him about his morning routine, he told me he drank strong black coffee the moment he opened his eyes. That one detail was silently undoing every single healthy habit Thomas had built over years of careful and disciplined daily living. We made one change. He waited 45 minutes after waking, ate 2 scrambled eggs, and then drank his plain black coffee. 8 weeks later, his fasting glucose had dropped to 111, and his energy levels transformed in ways he never expected. He told me he finally woke up feeling strong, clear-headed, and ready for the day for the first time in years. That's the power of understanding not just what you consume, but exactly when and how you consume it every single day. Now let me explain the biology in simple terms so you truly understand why timing makes such a powerful and measurable difference. When you sleep for 7 or 8 hours, your body enters a fasting state, and cortisol naturally rises to prepare you. Cortisol tells your liver to release stored glucose so your muscles and brain have fuel to start functioning when you wake. This is completely normal and healthy. The problem begins only when caffeine enters the picture on top of already elevated cortisol. Caffeine stimulates your adrenal glands to produce more adrenaline, which signals the liver again to release even more glucose immediately. The result is a significant blood sugar spike that happens before you have consumed a single calorie of actual food today. Studies have confirmed that drinking black coffee on an empty stomach after sleeping can raise blood glucose by 40 points rapidly. For a healthy young person, this might be manageable, but for someone over 60 with insulin resistance, it becomes genuinely dangerous. Now, here's the good news. You do not have to give up coffee. You simply have to time it more intelligently. The first golden rule is to wait between 30 and 60 minutes after waking before drinking your very first cup today. During that time, drink a full glass of water because overnight dehydration directly affects how your cells respond to insulin. Then eat a small amount of protein, eggs, plain yogurt, a slice of cheese, anything that gives your body amino acids first. Protein does something remarkable in the body. It buffers the cortisol response and tells your liver to slow glucose release down. Once you have eaten that small protein-based breakfast, your coffee will now work with your body instead of against it. The chlorogenic acid in your coffee will then begin slowing sugar absorption from your meal instead of creating a dangerous spike. This one sequence, water first, protein second, coffee third, is the foundation of blood sugar-friendly coffee for every senior daily. Now, there's a second powerful coffee window that almost nobody uses, and it could dramatically reduce your after-meal glucose spike. 20 to 30 minutes before your largest meal of the day, drink a small, plain black cup without any additions. The chlorogenic acid will pre-coat your intestinal lining and slow down how quickly sugar from your food enters your blood. Research has shown this pre-meal coffee strategy can significantly reduce the post-meal glucose spike compared to drinking coffee after eating. This is especially important for lunch because most people eat their highest carbohydrate meal in the middle of the day unknowingly. A small coffee before lunch is like sending a protective shield ahead of your meal to guard against dangerous blood sugar spikes. The third coffee window is after physical activity, and this one is especially powerful for anyone who walks or exercises regularly. Within 30 minutes of completing a walk or any exercise, your muscles are in a highly receptive state, hungry for glucose. At this moment, your muscles act like a sponge, pulling glucose out of the blood and storing it as energy efficiently. Caffeine at this precise moment enhances that glucose uptake effect and extends the window during which your muscles keep absorbing sugar. This means your post-exercise coffee is not just enjoyable, it is actively accelerating your body's most powerful blood sugar regulation system. Here's something else most people completely overlook, and it has the potential to make your coffee even more powerful every morning. Half a teaspoon of pure cinnamon powder stirred into your plain black coffee can quietly enhance your blood sugar response after meals. Cinnamon contains natural compounds that partially mimic the action of insulin, helping your cells absorb glucose more efficiently throughout the day. Multiple published studies have shown that regular cinnamon consumption contributes to a modest but real reduction in fasting glucose levels over time. It is not a medication, and it does not replace anything, but it is a simple ally that costs almost nothing at all. Just make sure you use pure cinnamon powder with no added sugar, no sweetener, and no artificial flavoring of any kind. Combined with your well-timed plain black coffee, this cinnamon addition gives you an extra layer of natural blood sugar protection daily. Now, I need to talk about the silent enemies that completely destroy all of these benefits and undo everything you're trying to achieve. The first and most damaging enemy is sugar in any form: white sugar, brown sugar, honey, or any sweet addition to coffee. Just one spoonful of sugar in your morning coffee creates an immediate glucose spike that cancels every benefit of chlorogenic acid completely. A major study published in a leading nutrition journal found that coffee with sugar lost nearly all its protective effect against diabetes. If you want coffee to protect your blood sugar, it must be completely plain with nothing added, no matter how small it seems. The second enemy is artificial sweeteners, and this is where many people believe they are making a smart choice, but are not. Sweeteners like aspartame and sucralose disrupt the balance of bacteria in your gut that play a critical role in insulin metabolism. When your gut microbiome is disrupted, your body's insulin response becomes less efficient, and blood sugar swings become more unpredictable over time. If you truly need a touch of sweetness, natural stevia is currently the safest available option based on current research and observation. The third enemy is instant coffee from packets because these products are often loaded with hidden sugars, additives, and low-quality ingredients. Always choose natural ground coffee, ideally 100% Arabica, freshly brewed at home without packets, powders, or any pre-mixed products. The fourth and most overlooked enemy is drinking coffee late in the afternoon or at night when cortisol should be declining. Caffeine has a half-life of 5 to 6 hours, which means coffee at 3 in the afternoon is still active at 8. This elevated caffeine keeps cortisol raised into the evening, interferes with deep sleep, and poor sleep directly worsens your next morning glucose. Sleep deprivation, even a single night of poor rest, can raise fasting blood sugar by 15 to 30 points the next morning. This is why your evening habits are just as important as your morning habits when it comes to managing blood sugar daily. When you protect your sleep, you are protecting your insulin sensitivity, your morning glucose, and your energy for the entire next day. Let me now tell you about a patient I will call Margaret, a 68-year-old retired teacher with type 2 diabetes. Margaret was doing everything her doctor asked, taking her medication, reducing rice and bread, avoiding desserts, and yet her numbers refused to improve. When I reviewed her routine, I found she was drinking sweetened coffee with milk every morning and again every single afternoon with biscuits. We removed the sugar, shifted her coffee timing to after protein, added a small cup before lunch, and included 3 short walks weekly. 6 weeks later, Margaret returned, and her long-term blood sugar marker had dropped from 7.5 to 6.8%. Her fasting glucose was 109, her energy had returned, and she finally told me she felt in control of her body. She said nobody had ever explained the connection between coffee timing and blood sugar to her in all her years managing diabetes. That moment reminded me why precision in health guidance matters far more than repeating generic advice people have already heard 100 times. Now let me also address decaffeinated coffee, because many seniors are told to avoid caffeine due to heart concerns or sleep sensitivity. Here is something very reassuring. The chlorogenic acid and other protective compounds in coffee are present in decaf just as much. Large reviews covering over 1 million participants found that both caffeinated and decaffeinated coffee reduced the risk of type 2 diabetes similarly. This means if caffeine causes you anxiety, palpitations, or sleep disruption, you can switch to quality decaf and still protect your blood sugar. The key is that your coffee is natural, ground, high quality, and completely free of sugar, sweeteners, or any artificial additions whatsoever. Now, I want to give you the complete framework, 3 elements that when combined together multiply each other's benefits in a lasting way. The first element is smart coffee, plain, timed correctly, after protein, before meals, after exercise, and optionally enhanced with a touch of cinnamon.
The second element is movement. 30 minutes of moderate walking 3 to 5 times a week dramatically improves your insulin sensitivity over time. Moving muscles pull glucose directly out of your bloodstream without needing insulin, which means every single walk is an act of blood sugar control. The third element is adequate protein at every meal, because protein has the lowest impact on blood sugar of any macronutrient available. After 60, your body becomes less efficient at using protein, so you need more: eggs, fish, chicken, beans, and plain yogurt daily. When these 3 elements work together, smart coffee, consistent movement, and protein-rich meals, the cumulative effect on blood sugar becomes truly extraordinary. This combination does not cost anything extra, does not require any special supplement, and does not demand a radical change to your life. It requires only that you understand the biology behind what you already do and make a few small, precisely targeted adjustments starting tomorrow. Your body is not broken, and it is not your enemy. It is constantly trying to balance, heal, and regulate itself for you. When blood sugar rises, when fatigue lingers, when sleep becomes difficult, these are not failures. They are signals asking you for something specific. Often, what your body is asking for is not a new medication or a stricter diet. Sometimes it is simply the right coffee. Health is not built in dramatic decisions. It is built in the small, consistent, intelligent choices you make every morning before the day begins. Start tomorrow. Drink water first, eat a small protein, wait 30 minutes, then enjoy your plain black coffee and let it work. Add cinnamon if you can. Time it before your lunch, walk after your exercise, and protect your sleep by stopping coffee after noon. These are not complicated rules. They are simple, intelligent adjustments that align perfectly with how your body actually functions at 60 and beyond. Your future self, with better energy, steadier blood sugar, clearer mornings, and more confident health, is waiting just on the other side of this. One small change made consistently every single day is more powerful than any dramatic overhaul you could attempt for a single week only. The people who transform their blood sugar are not the ones who do everything perfectly. They are the ones who do the basics right. Right timing, right habits, right mindset, and a single cup of plain black coffee used with the precision and intention it truly deserves.